you could watch a live-action fairy tale this weekend, but how about a live-action Family Guy movie? Right now, you're watching Beyond the Trailer's review of A Million Ways to Die in the West.
The American West is a terrible place in time. Everything out here that's not you wants to kill you. Angry drunk people, hungry animals, outlaws. Oh, the doctor.
I couldn't save her. She had a splinter. Doc, what the hell were you supposed to do?
I would like to welcome a new member to our community.
Welcome to our awesome town.
What's with this fair?
Every year, people die.
Really?
Everybody hold still.
People die at the fair.
People die at the fair.
Disney is betting heavily on turning their animated classics into live-action movies, so why shouldn't Seth MacFarlane cash in on the trend as well? After all, this crass modern-day Walt Disney has his own animation empire, where Family Guy, currently valued at $2 billion overall, is the crown jewel. And like all moguls, MacFarlane wants to expand that empire. But when he pitched Ted to 20th Century Fox, they passed on it, making it the second time they've underestimated MacFarlane. The first time it cost them $100 million to get Family Guy back after they canceled the series. And now they lost out on Ted, which went over to Universal and grossed $550 million worldwide. Now, Ted 2 is already set for 2015, but first Universal is doubling down on MacFarlane to see if he's more than a one-hit wonder. What did make Ted click with audiences? The high-concept idea of a teddy bear come to life who grows up along with his owner? Mark Wahlberg, who'd already wowed audiences with comedic turns in The Other Guys and The Departed? Or was it MacFarlane's unique brand of humor? Universal must feel it's the latter, as they're backing A Million Ways to Die in the West, which follows the MacFarlane Family Guy formula to a T. There's MacFarlane front and center, plenty of cutaways and pop culture references, a ton of cameos, and hot chicks. Oh, and also, I guess for luck, a Mila Kunis reference. In fact, if it was revealed that A Million Ways to Die in the West is actually a repurposed Family Guy visits the Old West script, we'd totally believe it. And it kinda is, as the writers on the film are Family Guy writers. So if audiences love to watch Family Guy at home, won't they love to watch it at the movies? Well, they're not used to seeing MacFarlane, and favorites Stewie and Brian are nowhere to be seen. Plus, TV is free while movies aren't, and there are no movie stars or special effects. Not to mention, Westerns have a tough time at the box office. But if a man who's personally worth $150 million can't take this kind of risk, who can? I never thought I'd say this about a Seth MacFarlane movie, but he forgot the funny and his edge. A Million Ways to Die in the West is basically a very sweet Valentine to the Western genre. The music is amazing, the visuals are stunning, but it's also a little boring, and that's for two reasons. One, it has jokes, but if you've seen most of the trailers, you've seen 2/3 of those jokes. And two, the jokes just don't come fast enough. I'm really surprised to see this because that's Seth MacFarlane's hallmark on Family Guy. And after I saw the movie, I went home to watch some Family Guy episodes for comparison, and they're still up to par. They still have the jokes come fast and furiously, and that is not the case in A Million Ways to Die in the West. As I said, it's surprisingly sweet. My theory is that Seth MacFarlane was concentrating so hard on making a really good Western and proving himself in the leading role, live action himself, that he just forgot about the funny. Maybe he thought that it would come naturally, I'm not sure, but he left it somewhere. I don't know if it's in the writing room, on the cutting room floor, but what he has left is just a movie that is a little slow and not as funny as you would expect, certainly from Seth MacFarlane. I laughed, but I never laughed as hard as I did, say, in Neighbors, which is in theaters right now and is competition for this movie. Maybe the romance in the movie is supposed to fill in the blanks, but the romance didn't work for me. Largely because Charlize Theron's character had to work so hard to get Seth MacFarlane to like her that I felt kind of bad for her, and it made me not like Seth MacFarlane as much. He just seemed like not as nice a caring a guy, I think, as he wanted to come across. And I think for a romance to work, you have to be rooting for it. And at the end of the day, I thought they both could do better. And at the very least, they didn't actually like each other that much. And everyone did a good job, by the way. Seth MacFarlane did a very good job. Charlize Theron was very good. Neil Patrick Harris, Amanda Seyfried. But the real standouts were Giovanni Ribisi and Sarah Silverman. They were phenomenal. They did the best with their material, and I think they had some of the best jokes. And I almost would have preferred to see the film be about them. I thought their characters were much more interesting and unique, and they weren't bogged down by this romance, as I said, just didn't work. Although somebody who I didn't like in the film was Liam Neeson. The things that he was asked to do, I felt were kind of disturbing, like he has to force himself on Charlize Theron, and it just creeped me out. I did not like seeing Liam Neeson do those things. I know actors are supposed to have range, but it's like seeing Jimmy Stewart try and rape somebody. You're just kind of like, what? Liam Neeson would never do that under any circumstances. I'm sad. So I think casting him in that role didn't work. Let's see. So that's my thoughts on the film. I think if you're a MacFarlane fan, you definitely will want to see it at some point. I can't imagine you not going. You probably to some degree don't believe me, because Seth MacFarlane is usually so funny and so raunchy. How could he make a sweet, soft, boring film that has only a little bit of raunchy jokes in it? Even the raunchy jokes here are sweet, which I think just doesn't work for him. That's Seth Rogen's mix combination, and he does a better job. So I would say, fine, go ahead, see it. But you should see it not in theaters. It's not necessary to pay that kind of money. I would wait till you can see it at home, on an airplane, in a hotel room, while you're on your phone. This is something you could watch in pieces, because you don't have to watch it in one sitting, because I think the story just doesn't gel together that well, and it has lots of low, slow points. Or I can see someone checking out, going to check their computer, going, bathroom snack break. This movie has those built in, unfortunately. Okay, now also there's a spoiler. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't like spoilers, it's a very small spoiler, but I'm giving you plenty of warning here. Okay, this is it. You still have a chance to turn around, stop the video. All right, you're still here? Okay, the spoiler is this movie has a lot of great cameos in it, to the degree that I thought some of them were wasted. Where I was like, if you had that actor on set, you should have done more with them. But at the end of the movie, Django Unchained shows up, Jamie Foxx. And I'm not going to tell you how or what happens, but it was wonderful to see. And the reaction from the crowd was so strong that it made me think that Tarantino shouldn't be thinking miniseries, he should be thinking sequel. I would love to see Jamie Foxx saddle up again and perhaps be a little bit more of a lead in his own movie. He had to really share it with Christoph Waltz the first time out, and DiCaprio. But if he can get another great nemesis like DiCaprio at that caliber and make a prestige western again, I would be very excited about that. So it was nice to see the movie end on a high note. That happens at the very end of the movie. So that's my review of A Million Ways to Die in the West. If you've seen the film, please leave your own thoughts down below, and you can check out these other episodes right now.